Hey, I'm Adam.
I'm Bryan.
Back with another episode of Buds and Suds, and today we are going to do Jackie O's Cognac Barrel Aged Dark Apparition. This is their Dark Apparition beer, brewed with brown sugar that is aged for 8 to 12 months in cognac barrels. It's a special release they do yearly. This one's courtesy of a trade with Stout Daddy, aka Sammy. Thanks. And so can't wait to get it. He was raving about this one. We had Dark Apparition. We reviewed it and we loved it. So can't wait to get into this barrel aged variant.
Yep,
let's do it.
Good.
Just pour
pitch black.
Pitch black. Nice.
Ooh, that really holds the glass too.
Oh yeah, nice alcohol legs, brown
head. Yeah,
brown head that's dissipated. Let's get the aroma on this one. I got booze right up front. It's the first thing I got.
I get big booze.
I get that cognac aroma right off.
I don't know what cognac smells like, so I just get booze. But
Hip and Hennessy.
Yeah, that just doesn't help me.
But then
I get deep dark chocolate.
Yeah,
maybe some raisin, plum. I don't know. I get some deep fruit. The
deep
fruits.
roastiness, deep dark chocolate. Yeah. Maybe a hint of coffee. Maybe a little bit of molasses.
I can't tell if it's molasses or vanilla. Something sweet.
Yeah. I think I get some vanilla in there too. But it's robust. As we were sitting here beforehand, you could smell it just coming off.
Awesome.
So, cheers.
Right, cheers.
Cheers. Man, that
is really good. Smooth.
I got roastiness off the.
I get roasty.
Big roasty beer right off the top was my first impression. Kind of lingers there.
It does.
Get coffee, roasted malts. It's kind of sitting there for my first sip.
I don't remember having that much roastiness with the Dark Apparition, but it's been so long. I should have reviewed that one again. I like it. So it's got a slight sweetness to it, not like a bourbon sweetness. I guess that's from the cognac instead, but I like it. I like it a lot.
Second sip was the same. Big roastiness, a little more mellow the second time around. Wasn't the only thing I got the first time. I did get the kind of a little cognac or alcohol burn there on the back.
Absolutely, and it's warmed up enough too. This isn't too cold, so I mean, it shouldn't change much.
No.
I think the cognac, I don't think it mellows out the roastiness as much as, say, a bourbon barrel age will, but I like it a lot.
Yeah, I found that, I've noticed that as I'm sipping on big Russian Imperial Stouts or barrel aged Russian Imperial Stouts, that my first impression often is not my final impression.
Right.
I've noticed that, like for example, the roastiness really stuck out to me on this, and I've had that happen on other beers, where at the end it's much smoother. It doesn't taste quite as big, robust, and it kind of just is more balanced, and I may get more of the bourbon. So that's why I'm kind of just taking my time and sipping and see what, even though it's not a long time, what I get with multiple sips.
I still get roasty, but I think it's well balanced. It's not in your face. It's not too much roasty malt. I think it's well balanced for this type of beer. And
each sip, it gets the roastiness is not as prominent for me. I mean, it's still there, but I get other things. I get a little hint of vanilla, a little bit of sweet, maybe some kind of backstrap molasses sweetness.
Something sweet. I can't tell if it's vanilla or the molasses, but there's definitely. I mean, maybe it's the brown sugar too. Definitely something sweet. That's
and I will admit, I haven't had cognac in a long time, and I've never had like really, phenomenal cognac, but much more familiar with bourbon. But I get a little bit of alcohol there, and I guess that's the cognac. But as far as picking out a flavor and saying yes, that's cognac, I can't do that.
Yeah, I couldn't either. But it's not as the bourbon booziness, to describe it for people who don't know, because I don't really know much about cognac, but it's not quite as sweet as a bourbon barrel aged would be, but it still mellows out the roastiness, I think. But I don't get as much vanilla as you typically would from a bourbon barrel aged. I don't know if that's intentional or if that's just part of doing a cognac barrel aged. I just get a little sweetness, a little sweet aroma, and a little sweet flavor.
Yeah. And it finishes a little more bitter than
It does.
than like and it may be the beer or just it may be this type of beer, or it could be the fact that it's not bourbon barrel. And
Right.
I'm used to bourbon barrels, but it doesn't have a real sweet finish. It's more a little on the bitter side. I mean, a little bit of bit. No, I'm not saying it's a big bitter beer, but a little bit of bitter. Maybe some of the roastiness gives it that. Maybe some of the hops.
What's a Russian Imperial Stout? So it's okay to be high IBUs.
Yeah, and
did it say that?
IBUs weren't given. I don't think. No, none were given. But no, really, I am really enjoying this. And again, I'm with you. I don't remember if Dark Apparition was quite this roasty. I'm not sure.
I like it. I like it a lot. I'm going to give it a 4 or 5. I almost want to bump it up, but I just...
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a 4 or 5 as well. I bet if I just took my time and really slowly sipped on this, like, you know, if you had a bottle of yourself and you were sipping on it throughout the night, it would continue to get better and better. Which is not saying it's a bad beer, but
it's great.
I bet
it's 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's a 4 or 5. Little thin. I mean, not a big velvety mouthfeel.
And we said that about Dark Apparition too, if I remember. It wasn't as thick as most Russian Imperial Stouts would be.
Little thin.
But I mean, it wouldn't pass as a porter, not at all. It's still a stout. It's just not as thick as, you know, not thick as thick and chewy as some of the ones we've had. But it's still a stout.
But I really enjoyed this. I would definitely seek this out. I know if I'm around next year for their annual Dark Apparition variant day, I'd love to go.
That would be awesome.
I'd love to go to that. So 4 or 5s for both of us.
4 or 5.
Definitely try this one out if you can get it. Anything else? As always, if you can't have the beer you love the beer you have. Thanks.
That's good.
Yeah.